5.
רסיסי לילה, אני ישנה וליבי ער, כל דודי דופק פתחי לי. אני ישנה וליבי ער, כל דודי דופק פתחי לי. יונתי תמתי שראשי נבלטה קבוצותיי רסיסי לילה. אחותי רעייתי יונתי תמתי שראשי נבלטה קבוצותיי רסיסי לילה. אני ישנה וליבי ער, כל דודי דופק פתחי לי. אני ישנה וליבי ער, כל דודי דופק פתחי לי.
Good evening, everyone. On this holiday of forgiveness, we begin the evening with the opportunity for TBI as an institution to ask the forgiveness of those of you who looked on the website and thought that the services started at 6:30. I suspect that those who we most need to beg forgiveness from are not in the room yet. Oh well. So we will forgive them when they walk in at what we perceive as late. And you can convey the request for forgiveness to them. I'll probably repeat it at some point. But it's good. It's good to start off the evening with a sense of the work that we're here to do, right? And I hope we will not have to think about this at any other point this evening, but I do need to announce that we have emergency exits that go right out to the street on both sides of the bima, as well as emergency exits through both courtyards in the building, as well as the doors that you're probably aware of. So thank you all for being with us this evening. Thank you for being on this journey with each other.
And I'd like to invite TBI board members and past board presidents to come up to the bima for the candle lighting. We light this candle in the memory of all our loved ones. May their memory be for a blessing. We light this candle in the memory of the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Force. all those who sacrificed their lives for the sanctification of God, and all those who died in the Holocaust. May their memory be a blessing.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, lehadlik ner, shel Yom Tov.
May it be your will, Eternal One, our God and God of our ancestors, that these candles light up the pathway of return on this, your holy Shabbat, Shabbaton, a Sabbath of complete cessation. By their light, may your light be seen. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Thank you to the board members and past presidents for your service to this community and for your service this evening. I invite you to take your seats with the exception of President Jeff Kurtner, First Vice President Jared Rubin, and Second Vice President Jody Seasonwine as we take out the Sifrei Torah.
And please stand as you are able as the ark is opened.
Tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. O Zaruah Tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. Or Zaruah Tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. O Zaruah Tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. Or Zaruah Tzadik, uleYisraelei simcha. sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright of heart. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Uleishrev Simcha.
So here we are again. There are vows that we made that we didn't fulfill. There are intentions that we set that we just didn't manage to do in the last year. And I'm not talking about the obligations that we really have to our loved ones, to each other. Those Kol Nidre is not actually going to absolve us of. There might still be some tshuva we need to do even after Kol Nidre. But the goals we set ourselves, the ways that we know we have missed our own marks of the people we wanted to be this past year, we take this moment and we proclaim that we are all sinners and we are all forgiven. Not to make our lives easier, and I'll talk about this later, but so that we can move forward and take on what needs to be taken on going forward. And in, I'm sure, all of our lives, there is much that needs to be taken on, but we do that not bogged down by old stuff. So, as we sing Kol Nidre together, acknowledging, especially in our world right now, that there is much that cannot be forgiven, I invite you to stretch your forgiveness muscles for yourselves, for each other, and perhaps if you're tending to be in communication with such an entity, for God.
The Kol Nidre service begins on page 692 with the transliteration sticker on page 691. I invite the congregation to join in on the third repetition of Kol Nidre.
בישיבה של מעלה ובישיבה של מטה על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים.
Page 694.
ושבועי וחרמי וקונמי וכינוסי וכינויי מיום כיפורים שעבר עד יום כיפורים זה הבא עלינו לטובה. כל הון יכרתנה והון כל הון יהון שרן יהון שרן בטלים ומבוטלים,
לא שרירים ולא קיימים.
נדרה נא,
לא נדרה,
וסרנה לא אסרה, ושבועתנה לשבות.
כל נדרי ושרי ושבועי וחרמי וקונמי וכינוסי וכינויי.
דין דנה
ודאיש טבנה ודאחרים נא ודאסר נא על נפשתנה מיום כיפורים שעבר עד יום כיפורים זה.
עלינו לטובה.
כל הון איחרתנה והון כל הון יהון שרן
יהון שרן שביקים שביתי
בטלים ומבוטלים
לא שרירים ולא קיימים.
נדרה נא
לנדרה
וסרנה לאסרי
Dina Darna Udeish Tabana Udeacharimna Udeasarna Al Nafshatana Miyom Kippurim Shavar Ad Yom Kippurim Zeh Haba Aleinu Letova Icharatna vehon Kul hon Yehon Sheran Yehon Sheran Shaviki Shaviti B'teilin u'mevutalin La sharirin v'la kayamin Nidrana La Nidre Vesarana La Esare Ushevuatana La Shevut.
And there shall be atonement for the whole community of Israel and the stranger dwelling in their midst. Indeed, for an entire people that has gone astray. Please turn to page 696.
Slach na lavon ham hazeh kegodel chastecha וכאשר נסעת לעם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה ושם נאמר ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך.
The fount of mercy said, I grant forgiveness as you ask.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
And you may be seated. I invite Judy Goldstein up to the bima for a reading.
Poem about radical forgiveness by Pamela Spiru Wagner. To forgive is to begin, and there is so much to forgive. For one, your parents, 1 and 2, out of whose dim haphazard coupling you sprang roaring indignantly alive. For this, whatever else followed, innocent and guilty, forgive them. If it is day, forgive the sun its white radiance blinding the eye. Forgive also the moon for dragging the tides, for her secrets, her half-heart of darkness. Whatever the season, forgive it its various assaults, floods, gales, storms of ice, and forgive its changing for its vanishing act, stealing what you love and what you hate, indifferent. Forgive time, and likewise forgive its consort, memory, which fades the photographs of all you can't remember. Forgive forgetting, which is chaste and kinder than you know. Forgive your age, and the age you were when happiness was a fire in your blood and joy sang hymns in the trees. Forgive too those trees which have died, and forgive death for taking them, inexorable as God. Then forgive God, God's terrible grandeur, God's unspeakable name. Forgive too the poor devil for a celestial fall no worse than your own. When you have forgiven what is of earth, of sky, of water, whatever is named, whatever remains nameless, forgive finally your own sorry self, clothed in temporary flesh, the breath and blood of you already dying. Dying, forgiven, you can now begin.
Please stand as you are able for the Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 708.
את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
And you may be seated. Please turn to page 709 and read with me in English. 709. Blessed are you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of all worlds, by whose word the evenings fall. In wisdom you open heaven's gates. With divine discernment you make seasons change, causing the times to come and go, and ordering the stars on their appointed paths through heaven's dome, all according to your will. Creator of the day and night, who rolls back light before the dark and dark before the light, who makes day pass away and brings on night, dividing between day and night. Creator of the multitudes of heaven is your name. Living and enduring God, rule over us, now and always. Blessed are you, Almighty One, who makes the evenings fall.
ומעביר יום, ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני. המריב ערבים.
Please turn to page 712.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך עמך אהבת. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, לימדת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, לימדת. ועבדך לא תסור ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני. אוהב עמו ישראל.
Please turn to page 714 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Please continue silently with your choice of biblical selections through page 722.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
When our ancestors beheld these truths, they proclaimed, "Among all the gods we can name, who can compare to the one beyond naming? Among all the quantities we can label, number, mark, and measure, which compares to the mystery at the heart of reality?" We continue with the last two lines on page 726.
ומלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ויאמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע הים לפני משה, זה לי אנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני.
Amen. continue on page 730.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'ha'amiteinu Malkeinu L'chaim Uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha V'takneinu V'etza tova V'etza tova milfanecha V'hoshienu V'hoshienu L'ma'an shemecha V'hagein ba'adeinu V'haser me'aleinu Oyev dever v'cherev v'rav v'yagon V'haser satan milfaneinu u'me'achareinu Uvetzel kinafecha tasdireinu Ki el shomreinu matzileinu ata Ki el melech chanun Chanun v'rachum ata Ushemor tzeiteinu v'oveinu L'chaim U'l'shalom Me'ata v'yad olam Uferos aleinu Sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai Aporei sukat shalom aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Wings of Peace can be found on the bottom of page 733.
Ufros aleinu sukat shalom spread over us wings of peace. the living well. Mayim Chayim, waters of life, Shalom, Ufrosa Leinu, Sukkah, Shalom, spread over us, wings of peace, Shalom, draw water in joy from the living well, draw water in joy from the living well. Mahim Chayim, waters of life, Shalom.
For on this day atonement shall be made for you, to make you clean from all of your wrongdoings. Before the fount of mercy you shall all be clean. Page 734.
כי ביום הזה יכפר עליכם לטהר אתכם מכל חטאותיכם לפני אדוני תטהרו.
The silent Amidah will occur after we say Kaddish together, and there will be additional prayers of personal confession that start on page 762. It all concludes on page 774. It is traditional to stand for the duration of the Amidah, but you are welcome to sit as you finish or as you need. The Chatzi Kaddish can be found on page 736.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון וביומי חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
You may continue praying at your own pace or join me in a nigun. Ay, 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 lay, 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 ay, 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 lay, lay, ay, 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 lay, 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 ay, 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 ay. I'm so glad we are all here together this evening. This day is the culmination of a process of teshuvah begun on Rosh Chodesh Elul 40 days ago. And ideally, we've been spending this time taking stock, getting right with each other, getting right with ourselves. And over the course of the day, later tonight and many, many times, we will repeat our slichot, our invocations of forgiveness, our vidui, our confessions of where we went astray. And ideally, by the time the gates close tomorrow evening, no matter what failures and hurts we have repented, we will be ready to step clean into the new year. There has been a concern throughout our textual tradition that people might just do the symbolic gesture of the day rather than actually work on changing their ways. Even as far back as the biblical prophet Isaiah, whose haftarah we'll hear tomorrow, scolds the people for engaging in a meaningless fast without fundamentally transforming their lives or society. And our sages teach explicitly in the Mishnah about Yom Kippur, chapter 8, section 9, one who says, I shall sin and repent, does not get to repent. And if one says, I shall sin and Yom Kippur will atone for me, Yom Kippur does not affect atonement. And for transgressions between a person and their fellow, Yom Kippur does not affect atonement until one has undone the damage they caused and pacified the other. So this year I'm thinking about what we do about the damage that can't be fixed. What about the hurts that can never be undone? There are so many directions I could take this, to a national reckoning around racism, to how U.S. foreign policy has led to the migration crisis, or to the Me Too movement and generations of sexual violence. Tonight, however, I'm particularly thinking of the destruction we have collectively wrought to life on Earth. I, along with everyone else in this room, everyone else in our society. No 40-day teshuvah process will undo the effects of climate change and environmental degradation that are already snowballing. No atonement will reverse the speed of the melting ice, stop sea levels from rising, prevent summer wildfires and yearly superstorms. It is too late to reverse the disappearance of coral reefs and the displacement of hundreds of thousands, maybe hundreds of millions of people as climate refugees. So if the premise of this holiday is that past mistakes won't come back to bite us in the tuchus, then we're out of luck, because many of our collective mistakes will linger for hundreds of generations. So what do we do with this on Yom Kippur? We wipe the slate clean. That is to say, I can get so hung up by the failures already weighing on me that I despair of my capacity to make anything better. Yom Kippur demands that I relinquish that despair. It absolves us of fixing the past, not to make us feel good, not to make our lives easy, but precisely in order to hold us accountable to what we might yet accomplish in the future. The last textual message we will receive tomorrow is almost a farce. For our mincha, our afternoon service, the Haftarah is the book of Jonah, in which a reluctant prophet prophesies destruction to an Assyrian city, Nineveh, whose inhabitants, from king to cattle, unanimously repent. Destruction is averted as Jonah sulks over the apparent inconsistency of God's wrath and mercy. We hear Jonah right before Ne'ilah, near the end of the day, and I want to suggest that we learn from the people of Nineveh. Hearing a prophecy of destruction, they resist the two far most likely impulses: to ignore it or to despair. And instead, they coordinate a highly organized community teshuvah process. This is extraordinary. I suspect the subtext here has been trying to nudge its Jewish listeners for millennia. If these pagan sinners could get their act together, what's stopping us? Further, as Nigel Savage, the founder of Jewish environmental organization Hazon, wrote recently, prophets prophesy to avert a potential future, not to predict it. The biblical Jonah foresaw the destruction of Nineveh, but the people repented and changed their ways, and Nineveh was not destroyed. Even today, there are prophets among us trying to avert the worst possible versions of our future. A few weeks ago, I read a prophecy in the form of a book just published by Jonathan Safran Foer called We Are the Weather, Saving the Planet Begins at Breakfast. It will be my next read with the rabbi this winter. We Are the Weather is an extended meditation on the realities of climate change and on the human psychology that makes it so difficult for us to take the necessary action to save what might yet be saved of our children's future. The first hurdle he discusses is that even those of us who know that climate change is real, and climate deniers make up only 14% of the US public, we literally cannot believe that it is real, even if we say we do. For example, I am intellectually sure that climate change will make my children's adult lives radically different from my own. Even if we hold to the maximum warming goal of 2 degrees Celsius, which is both insufficient and nearly impossible at this point, my daughters will know a world of more volatile weather filled with more desperate refugees, more extinction, more famine, and a more uncertain economy. That is the best case scenario. And yet, I consistently plan for a future that looks like my present. From the trees I plant in my yard, to the way I invest in my children's college savings plans, to the idle speculation I share with Jacob about the travel I'd like us to do as a family when our children are teenagers. I don't know how to prepare for the society, the economy, the ecosystem that I know intellectually they will inhabit because I don't believe in it in my gut. I can't believe it. I'm not like my great-grandma Ida, who sensed that she needed to do something and did it. I am like the Jews who stayed behind in Gruyitz in 1936 and knew hypothetically that things were getting worse, but couldn't conceive of the magnitude of what was coming or of what they might do about it. Saffron Foer asks, from the perspective of history, who looks worse? The denier who didn't believe, didn't care, and didn't do anything, or the one who claimed to believe and even felt outrage and felt despair and still didn't do anything? Saffron Foer points out that if we really believed in climate change, we would behave differently. We would radically change our lives to address it, just as Americans on the home front radically changed their behaviors and their consumption patterns during World War II because they believed both that it was necessary and that it was worth it. Particularly, there are 4 trends we could all be part of if we accepted the reality of climate change. Saffron Foer cites the climate science and identifies the 4 most significant actions any of us can do quite starkly. Stop having children, stop driving, stop flying, and stop eating industrial animal products. I'm going to say it again. Stop having children, stop driving, stop flying, and stop eating industrial animal products. I don't know about you, but when I hear that list, I get so defensive and I want to check out. First, not having children is a demand that is too loaded for me as a descendant of a Shoah survivor. I have children. I hope to have more someday. Too bad. Driving is often necessary to the structure of our lives. It often connects us to community. Consider our parking lot this evening. And I confess, as someone from the East Coast who still has much of my family there, if there weren't air travel, I would never have moved to Eugene. And then the food thing. So much of who we are in our history, identity, family, and community is wrapped up in the food we eat. And yet, the near impossibility of excising any of these behaviors does not absolve us from working to minimize them, to fly less than we did last year, to commit to alternatives to driving or to carpool, to eat less meat or dairy or eggs. This is something we humans know how to do when we know that we have to. Our whole country underwent strict food and fuel rationing during World War II, and most people felt virtuous and proud to be part of a collective effort. Today, these are the equivalent home front actions that would be the most significant for reducing global warming and saving as much as can still be saved. Depending on what factors you consider, industrialized animal agriculture accounts for 14% or up to 51% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Even at the low estimate, it's a significant percentage. And we all eat multiple times a day. Since we read the book, my household has decided that we will only eat 1 meat or dairy meal per day. We will try to keep those meals light on the animal products. Though we do not identify as vegan, as some of you know, my husband is in fact a trained kosher butcher, we have decided to relate to meat and dairy as the decadence that they truly are in planetary terms and save them for rare special occasions. Now, on the one hand, this is a significant and inconvenient shift for us. With 2 small children, cheese especially has been a daily staple of our diet, and it is hard to give it up as a staple. On the other hand, to be honest, I feel a little embarrassed talking to you all about it because I don't want to pretend some great virtue for making a lifestyle shift that is such a drop in the ocean. It doesn't take the place of other necessary advocacy work, protesting, or tzedakah. I'm telling you so you can be my accountability buddies, because I want to stop using the fact that it's a drop in the ocean to let myself off the hook from just doing it. Because our consumption patterns will have to shift, either within a few decades as climate change and famine forces us to shift them, or because we thoughtfully and proactively shift them ourselves. And because if all of us here make such a commitment, then it becomes more than a drop in the ocean. We have just begun a fast, and if you're not fasting, it's still a long service. So there is ample time to make a choice about what we will next feed ourselves. And even if you need to eat meat for your own nutrition, or for that matter, even if you're already vegan, I am confident that each of us could be doing more to take home front actions and scale back our personal and household destructive impact. They won't be easy or convenient changes, but they will move us towards consumption patterns that won't destroy the world. Of course, during World War II, there was a government and ample social structures existing to encourage people to fight on the home front. Today, our government and social structures expressly and implicitly discourage us from doing anything about climate change. Not only do they not support those efforts, but our government, goaded by industry forces, is in the midst of rolling back the regulations that would mitigate the problem. There is a temptation, which I have totally indulged, to say that individual actions don't matter unless the government and corporations clean up their act. This is the mirror image of the claims of energy company executives and more cynical government officials who say that since individuals are not cutting our carbon emissions, why should we expect the corporations or government to do it for us? There are rhetorical points to be scored in such an argument, but if we keep playing this game of chicken, we'll all crash. It's not either or. The fact that we don't individually live carbon-free lives does not absolve corporations and government from accountability for this crisis. That is why the Juliana case being litigated by our Children's Trust from here in Eugene is so important. Part of our responsibility is to keep pushing for environmental regulation, demanding compliance with existing regulations from the local to federal level, and to keep demanding that polluters pay. But the converse is also true. The accountability of major corporations and government doesn't absolve us from making the day-to-day changes in our lives that will ultimately be required from everyone in order to save as much as can still be saved. World War II wasn't won only by homefront actions, but homefront sacrifices were still necessary to win the war. And with the government failing to inspire us to make these changes, it's on us to motivate each other. We do have support from a local community initiative that recently began and which we here at TBI are invited to join. It is called Eugene Carbon Free Challenge, or ECFC. The project calls for community groups such as our congregation to see if we can reduce our ecological footprint collectively. And we'll be forming supportive small groups to learn to use the website, to meet once a month to discuss our challenges and our successes, and to find support and community in our collective efforts to redress the most pressing problem of our time. The first presentation of how to get involved is scheduled for October 23rd here, 7:30 p.m. It's a Thursday night. I hope to see you there. I spoke on Rosh Hashanah about the importance of teshuvah coming not just from fear, but from love. Our fears about climate change are already being realized. We will not change because we fear that species are going extinct, or because we fear the desertification that is causing millions to go on the move and become refugees. If we are only motivated by fear, we will too easily slip into despair as these situations continue to accelerate. The task for us is to love what there still is to save in this imperfect, glorious world, and to do our best to save it. The species that can survive 2 degrees of warming but not 3, the land that can remain wild for generations in the future, the human communities that can withstand some sea level rise but not more, our own children. Our own children. I have in the past indulged in the cold comfort, which may be familiar to others here, that even if we humans go extinct, even if we take down most of the world's biodiversity with us, the planet will eventually recover from us. It will bring forth new life, as it has done after all of the major extinctions preceding us. The world will survive us. But a few years ago, I participated in a training with Joanna Macy, a contemporary philosopher of deep ecology. At one point, she had us meditate on the wonder that is the human hand. And I invite you to look at your own hand as I share her words. This is an object unique in our cosmos, a human hand of the planet Earth. In the primordial seas where once we swam, that hand was a fin, as it was again in its mother's womb. Feel the energy and intelligence in this hand, the fruit of a long evolutionary journey, of efforts to swim, to push, to climb, to grasp. That hand learned to hold a spoon, to throw a ball, to write its name, to wipe tears, to give pleasure. There is nothing like it in all the universe. I burst into tears during that exercise. Hearing Joanna Macy's words, I had to acknowledge that my cold comfort about the world surviving us was predicated on an assumption that humanity is nothing better than a temporary scourge. Joanna's words reminded me that humanity is also wondrous, that the fact of our existence is miraculous. Our extinction would not be a happy ending, any more than the extinction of any other species. We are worth preserving, and we are worth working to improve. Jewish tradition suggests the same. Judaism is not premised on the idea that humans are inherently sinful. These holidays especially remind us that we are full of moral possibility. We have both the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination, and the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and we can always strive to have the good we do outweigh the harm. Even if we assume that the ways we have related to the earth are utterly evil. Ezekiel 33:11, quoted throughout the High Holiday Liturgy, puts it best. As I live, declares Hashem God, it is not my desire that the wicked shall die, but that the wicked turn from their evil ways and live. Ultimately, it will not be our feelings or motivations that determine whether we will be righteous or wicked, to use the loaded liturgical terms. It will be our action. Whether we are motivated by fear, by love, or just by peer pressure will matter less than what we do with our motivation. In the story of Jonah, surely some of the people of Nineveh didn't understand why everyone was taking this mad prophet so seriously. And yet they too dressed in sackcloth, they too fasted, and had a role in averting disaster. Some of you surely don't believe all the words we will say tonight as we knock on our chests, yet still you're here saying them, because that is what we do at this time of year together. So as we proceed with the rituals to absolve ourselves of fixing the past, let us hold ourselves and each other accountable for the future. The story of Jonah, the whole project of Yom Kippur, reminds us that individual actions and collective actions both do matter, and that no matter how late we will repent, it will not be too late to save something of value. And since this is scary stuff, please join me on page 48. Gesher tsar me'od, Gesher tsar me'od, Gesher tsar me'od, Kol ha'olam kulo, Gesher tsar me'od, Gesher tsar me'od. Gesher tsar me'od, Gesher tsar me'od, Kol ha'olam kulo, Gesher tsar me'od, Gesher tsar me'od.
Service continues on page 781. Please join me in reading below the line. We long for transformation as we cast our voices upward on the wings of the day. Words pile on words, creating a ladder, ascending to the heart of prayer. Please stand as you are able as we open the ark. Page 782. And you may be seated. Please join me on page 785. We'll read the middle paragraph in English together. The soul is yours. The body is your handiwork. Be sparing, please, to all that you have made. The soul is yours, the body yours. O fount of mercy, act in keeping with your name.
הנשמה לך, והגוף פולח, חוסה, חוסה, המלאך, הנשמה לך, והגוף פולח, חוסה, חוסה, המלאך, איי 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 ליי ליי, איי איי ליי איי ליי ליי, איי ליי איי איי איי, איי איי
Continue the service on page 794 with a transliteration on page 795. Please stand as you are able, and we turn to page 800.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, V'chata v'nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, V'chata v'nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, V'chata v'nakeh. V'salachta l'avonenu u'lechatotenu u'nechaltanu.
Adonai, Adonai, God loving and gracious, patient and abundant in kindness and truth, keeping kindness for 1,000 ages, forgiving sin and rebellion and transgression, making pure. May you forgive our sins and our wrongdoing. May you claim us as your own.
Adonai.
Page 800.
Adonai.
Please stand as you are able. Sorry, please read with me.
Full of forgiveness.
We're going to alternate. The rabbi will talk in Hebrew and we'll follow with the English. I am the one before the human being goes astray.
Adonai.
I am the one after the human being goes astray.
El.
My quality of mercy is extended to all nations.
Rachum.
To one who merits it.
V'Chanun.
Even toward one who does not merit it.
Erech Apayim.
Delaying anger even toward the wicked, who can change?
V'Rav Chesed.
To those in need of love.
V'Emet.
To reward the ones who do my will.
Notzer Chesed la'alafim.
When a person does good deeds,
Nosei Avon
even for one who acts deliberately,
v'Fesha,
for those rebelling and provoking God,
v'chata
of the one who acts merely by oversight,
v'nakeh.
for those who turn toward God. And now we turn to page 802.
Salach lanu avinu ki chatanu, machalanu makenu ki fashanu, ki ata Adonai tov v'salach, v'rav chesed lechol korecha.
And you may be seated.
So all we have to do now is break our hearts completely open. I invite you to get ready to knock. To remember that what we're doing here is not about beating ourselves, because that's really useless, but is about getting ourselves to open up to the truths that we do not usually want to let in. Open up to what we do not want to face in ourselves, in the world. Open up to the possibility that we could do better. So, knock, knock.
Hear our voice, Eternal One, our God, and accept our prayer with mercy and goodwill. Turn to page 814.
Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu Chus v'rachem aleinu Chus v'rachem aleinu V'kabel berachamim uveratzon berachamim uveratzon et tefilateinu Hashiveinu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem Turn now to page 816.
Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu v'Imotenu, Salach lanu, mechalanu, kaper lanu, ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha ve'ata avinu, anu avadecha ve'ata adonenu, anu kahalecha ve'ata chelkeinu, anu nachlatecha ve'ata goraleinu, anu tzonecha ve'ata roeinu, anu charmecha ve'ata no אתה יוצרנו, אנו רעייתך, ואתה דודנו, אנו סגולתך, ואתה קרובנו, אנו עמך, ואתה מכנו, אנו מאמירך, ואתה מאמירנו.
Please turn to page 818 and read with me in English below the line. Today we stand before the mirror of all to see ourselves as we are. We come with no gifts, no bribes, no illusions, no excuses. We stand without defense and wait to be filled. What will fill us? Remorse, certainly. So much error and needless pain. And joy, remembered moments of love and right doing. We are too complex for single-sided emotions, and we are too simple to be excused by our complexity. Let us be bold enough to see, humble enough to feel, daring enough to turn, and embrace the way of justice, mercy, and simplicity. Please stand as you are able. And we turn now to page 820. Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadnu,
Gazalnu,
Razalnu,
Dibarnu Dofi,
Dibarnu Dofi,
ay 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 ay
Shanu,
Zadnu,
Zadnu,
Hamasnu,
Hamasnu,
Tafalnu Shaker,
Tafalnu Shaker,
ay 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 ay
Yatsnura,
Izavnu,
Izavnu,
Latsnu,
Latsnu,
Maradnu,
Maradnu,
Niatsnu,
Niatsnu,
Sararnu,
Sararnu,
Avinu,
Avinu,
Pashanu,
Ashanu,
Sararnu,
Sararnu,
Kishinu Oreh,
Kishinu Oreh,
ay 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 lay lay ay 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 lay ay ay Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shichatnu,
Shichatnu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Tainu,
Tainu,
Titanu,
Titanu,
ay 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 ay.
And please read with me on page 819. We have acted wrongly. We have been untrue. and we have gained unlawfully and have defamed. We have harmed others, we have wrought injustice, we have zealously transgressed, and we have hurt and have told lies. We have improperly advised, and we have covered up the truth, and we have laughed in scorn. We have misused responsibility, and have neglected others, and have stubbornly rebelled. We have offended, we have perverted justice, we have stirred up enmity, and we have kept ourselves from change. We have reached out to evil, we have shamelessly corrupted, and have treated others with disdain. Yes, we have thrown ourselves off course, and we have tempted and misled. Turn now to page 828 through 832. And we'll alternate from Hebrew to English.
We say these prayers that our ancestors have refined their acrostic of confession, and so we say what our ancestors said, and we also will hear from the confessions of those members of our community who came to Slichot a couple weeks ago, what they felt needed to be confessed in our community now.
For the wrong that we have done before you in the closing of the heart, and for the wrong that we have done before you without knowing what we do, for the wrong that we have done before you, whether open or concealed, and for the wrong that we have done before you, knowingly and by deceit, for the wrong that we have done before you through the prompting of the heart, and for the wrong that we have done before you through the influence of others, for the wrong that we have done before you, whether by intention or mistake, and for the wrong that we have done before you by the hand of violence, for the wrong that we have done before you through our foolishness of speech, and for the wrong that we have done before you through an evil inclination.
Selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
And for them all, God of forgiveness, please forgive us, pardon us, help us atone. For the wrong that we have done before you in the palming of a bribe, and for the wrong that we have done before you by expression of contempt, for the wrong that we have done before you through misuse of food and drink, and for the wrong that we have done before you by our avarice and greed, for the wrong that we have done before you through offensive gaze, and for the wrong that we have done before you through a condescending glance.
Selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
And for them all, God of forgiveness, please forgive us, pardon us, help us atone. For the wrong that we have done before you by our quickness to oppose, and and for the wrong that we have done before you by deception of a friend,
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בקשיות עורף,
for the wrong that we have done before you by unwillingness to change,
ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בריצת רגליים להרע,
and for the wrong that we have done before you by our running to embrace an evil act,
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בשנאת חינם,
for the wrong that we have done before you by our groundless hatred,
ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בצומת יד,
and for the wrong that we have done before you in the giving of false pledge.
ועל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו.
For the wrong that we have done ourselves by holding ourselves to standards of perfection, and for the wrong that we have done our loved ones by refusing to communicate, for the wrong that we have done each other by not caring enough to help the poor and homeless, and for the wrong that we have done creation by not taking personal actions to change our own consumption and lifestyle, for the wrong that we have done ourselves by ignoring the connection between our minds and our bodies, and for the wrong that we have done our loved ones by escalating an argument, for the wrong that we have done each other by being cynical about people changing for the good, and for the wrong that we have done creation by being exhausted by the enormity of the issues, for the wrong that we have done ourselves by not accepting our own personal power to make changes, and for the wrong that we have done our loved ones by being too self-involved to be attentive to their needs, for the wrong that we have done each other by regarding homeless people as so different from us and our families, and for the wrong that we have done creation by staying on the sidelines when the youth environmental activists needed to see that they are not alone.
כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו.
Please be seated as we turn to page 1278.
Which, by the way, is not really a page. It's at the very back of your machzor. לב טהור ברא לי אלוהים, ורוח נכון חדש חדש בקרבי. אל תשליכני מלפניך, ורוח קודשך אל תיקח ממני. A heart that is pure, create within me, Elohim. A spirit in tune, renew within me. Cast me not away from before thee, and your Holy Spirit take not away from me. I ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay,
Please stand as you are able as we open the ark.
We have confessed in the collective, because we each hold the burden of each other's actions along with our own. We have asked in the singular for a pure heart because each of us is worthy. And now again we say in the collective, we call out to Avinu Malkeinu, and we say Ein Banu Ma'asim, which our liturgy translates as we have no deeds to justify us. But a colleague wrote yesterday that the word ma'asim means deeds, but it also means stories. And so maybe we say together that right now as we call out together, we let go of the stories that we use to justify our behavior, that we use to keep us closed off from ourselves, from our highest selves, from each other, and from our source. Let's try to sing this in such a way that Ein Banu Ma'asim.
And Avinu Malkeinu can be found on page 452 with the English on page 451.
Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, we have done wrong in your presence.
Avinu Malkeinu Ein Lanu Melech Ela Ata.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, we have no one to rule over us but you.
Avinu Malkeinu Aseh Imanu Leman Shemecha.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, help us for the honor of your name.
Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, renew for us a good year.
Avinu Malkeinu Hafer Atzat Oivenu.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, nullify the plans of any who may seek to do us harm.
Avinu Malkeinu Salach U'Machal Lechol Avonoteinu.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, grant forgiveness and atonement for all of our transgressions.
Avinu Malkeinu Achzireinu B'tshuva Shlema Lefanecha.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, help us to return wholeheartedly into your presence.
Avinu Malkeinu Shalach Refuah Shlema Lecholim.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, send thorough healing to all those who ail.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, inscribe us for good fortune in the book of life.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Geula V'Yeshua.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, inscribe us in the book of redemption and salvation.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Parnasa V'Chalkala.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, inscribe us in the book of sustenance and livelihood.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Zechuyot.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, inscribe us in the book of merit.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Slicha U'Mechila.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, inscribe us in the book of forgiveness and atonement.
Avinu Malkeinu Hatzmach Lanu Yeshua Bekarov.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, let grow for us the tree of imminent redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu Zachor Ki Afar Anachnu.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, remember us, though we are made of dust.
Avinu Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Ve'alol Aleinu V'tapeinu.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, be merciful to us and to all our offspring.
Avinu Malkeinu Aseh Leman Harogim Al Shem Kodshecha.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, act in memory of all those who have been killed while honoring your name.
Avinu Malkeinu Aseh Leman Shimcha Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora Shenikra Aleinu.
Our Creator, our Sovereign, act in honor of your great and mighty, awe-inspiring name, which has been called out over us for our protection.
Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu V'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu V'aneinu Ki ein banu masim Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu V'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu V'aneinu Ki ein banu masim Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Please be seated. We turn now to page 1188 for the Kaddish Titkabal.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
תתקבל צלות ההון ובאו תהון דכל בית ישראל קודם אבוהון דיבי שמיה ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
I'd like to invite Marlene Drescher to the bima to open the ark and to do a reading for Aleinu. And the Aleinu can be found on page 1202. Please stand as you are able as the ark is opened.
Alinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shenatan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The Seven of Pentacles by Marge Piercy. Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. You cannot always tell by looking at what is happening. More than half the tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Weave real connections, create real nodes, build real houses. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in. A thicket and bramble wilderness to the outside, but to us, interconnected with rabbit runs and burrows and layers. Live as if you liked yourself, and it may happen. Reach out, keep reaching out, keep bringing in. This is how we are going to live for a long time, but not always, for every gardener knows that after the digging, after the planting, after the long season of tending and growth, the harvest comes.
כתוב בתורתך, לך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And you may be seated. I'd like to invite Jeff Kurtner, our Board of Trustees President of TBI, for some short words. Please remain seated as you are able to hear what Jeff has to say.
It's never a good sign when you're asked to remain at the start of remarks. Shana Tova. This is the part of the service where I try to redirect your attention from your stomachs to your wallets with the so-called Yom Kippur appeal, which is either the worst or most ironically named speech of the year because, let's face it, it's not that appealing. Writing a Yom Kippur appeal is a profound experience, one I've had multiple times just this month. For although I've sat through many appeals, when it came time to prepare my own, I found I hadn't a clue. So I did what you would do. I Googled it. I read many, many appeals, which all seem to boil down to something like this. Our needs are great. We'll make good use of your money. Please give generously. But the appeals I read didn't really appeal to me, and I wanted to try something different. I've always been interested in the way language shapes thought, how the words and concepts we use to describe the world actually shape our worldview, causing us to behave differently than we would if we had different words or concepts. This shaping is often done through metaphors we may not even be aware we carry. I happen to have an example here. Because we speak English, we've internalized a concept of time and history as a line or river, where the past is somewhere back there and the future is up ahead. That metaphor allows us to say things like, I'm really looking forward to the break the fast if we can just get this darn appeal behind us. And what is one of the worst things that can happen? Your past can catch up to you. The river is a particularly apt subcategory of this metaphor because time, like a river's flow, goes in only one direction. And thus we talk about the currents of history, about good things coming around the bend, or we can say, she sat on the bank and watched the world go by. This last example hints at something important. The river metaphor, apt as it is in some ways, implies a lack of agency on our part and an inevitability about the outcome of historical events. After all, our experience of rivers is that, no matter what we do, the same water will flow through the same channel. And so the river metaphor underestimates, in fact, it undermines our ability to even perceive our role in affecting history. And that can change our behavior. To see that, let me propose a different metaphor for history, the relay. TBI does B'nai Mitzvah really, really well. One of my favorite parts, and certainly the most hair-raising, is the passing of the Torah through the generations. It's handed fumblingly from grandparents to parents, and finally lands, awkwardly, in the arms of the child, who's often dwarfed by it, so I fear the kid'll drop it, or worse, tip over backward. And I find myself thinking, I hope they didn't use the heavy one for this. Well, even though I'm getting to the age of grandparents in that scene, I always identify with the bar or bat mitzvah, who is now literally holding up the foundation of our people. Metaphorically, we are that child. By some strange universal quirk, all of Jewish history has somehow conspired to land on our narrow shoulders. It's a great responsibility to figure out where to carry that inheritance in our modern world and how to pass it on, an obligation that, quite frankly, I feel unqualified to carry out. But we are the only ones here to do it. Aleinu leshabeach, the prayer goes. It is up to us. By viewing history as a relay, the significance of your role becomes apparent. To mix up my metaphors completely, if you don't pick up the baton and pass it on, the river narrows. And while our inheritance may be an obligation, it's also a glorious opportunity to give meaning to our lives, to repair the world, and to hang out with people interested in doing both. TBI's mission is to help us seize those opportunities. For example, TBI is launching affinity groups to connect members who have shared interests so that we can pursue those activities together. Please look for information about that in the November newsletter. And TBI has adopted a new membership model called Our Shared Commitment, which rejects the old dues model and removes financial barriers to membership. To you non-members out there, I encourage you to pick up an Our Shared Commitment brochure in the foyer and consider joining. We would love to have you. And to you members, TBI deeply appreciates your past support, and your continuing gifts are critical to preserve and strengthen our Jewish home. As we take our turn in this historical relay, I think you'll find, certainly I have found, that you get back much more than you give. Well, despite my best efforts, in the end, I seem to have arrived at the place I tried to avoid. Our needs are great. We'll make good use of your money. Please give generously. Gemar Chatima Tova.
I think that deserves a Yasher Koach. It is a strange gift to be alive, embodied on earth in any given moment, and one that we take for granted too often. So as we recite Mourner's Kaddish, let's remember this prayer is not about death, though we say it in memory and in honor of our loved ones who have died. This prayer is about saying how wondrous it is that they were ever alive, and how wondrous it is that we are alive now. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 1216, 1216. On Yom Kippur, we observe the yahrzeits of members and beloveds of our members: Edward Levitas, Gertrude Boshnak-Reed, Con Hess, and Frida Taxon. And we also, just this past week, note with sadness the passing of Matthew Phelps, Zichrono Livracha, and extend our deep condolences to the Phelps family. I know that there are others saying Kaddish over a loss in the past year here tonight, or others saying Kaddish for a yahrzeit that we do not know, or others saying Kaddish because the high holidays bring up the memories of those we have loved and lost. So if you are saying Kaddish, I'm sorry, if you call out the name, I will probably not be able to hear and repeat it, but I'm going to pause for anyone who is saying Kaddish just to verbalize the name so that those around you can know what you're holding. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. V'alehem shalom, may peace be upon them. If you're saying Kaddish, I invite you to stand. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chiruteh, ve'amlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye techol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Ulealmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha B'richu Le'ela Mikol Birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Ta'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi Shalama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Teva, V'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony above make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all who dwell on earth. May all mourners be comforted. May the memories of those we have named and those we are holding in our hearts be for blessing. Amen. And on the very next page, Achat shalti met Adonai ota vakesh. Achat Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai lachazot b'noam Adonai ulevaker behechalo lachazot b'noam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. One thing I ask, O God, this I earnestly seek. One thing I ask, O God, this I earnestly seek, that I may dwell in the house of God all the days of my life. Behold the beauty of God, and to be in that holy place. Behold the beauty of God, and to be in that holy place. We've been working to open our hearts to make ourselves worthy of forgiveness, even though we're born worthy of forgiveness. And with this tender, vulnerable place we've gone to, it can be a little confusing after the service ends because it's both deep spiritual work and it feels like a family reunion with all of us here tonight. But I am going to ask of you all that after we sing our closing song, we don't go to the immediate place of casual schmoozing. The immediate place of casual schmoozing, as located physically, can be outside the building. But we'll keep this space in quiet for the work that we have done this evening. You can leave at your own pace, but please do leave in contemplation as you go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking this journey together. Thank you for doing the work together. I want to bless us all that we all really feel that what we do here matters. Our final song is on page 1220. My heart is open. It says, seek my face. I will seek your presence. Lach amar libi, bakshu fanai, bakshu fanai. 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 Et panai chavaya avakesh. Et panai chavaya avakesh. Lach amar libi, bakshu fanai, Bakshufanai, Lach amar libi, Bakshufanai, Bakshufanai, Lach amar libi, Bakshufanai, Bakshufanai, Lach amar libi, Bakshufanai, Bakshufanai, et panai chavaya avakesh, et panai chavaya et panai chavaya avakesh, et panai